Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Fine Peace of Mind podcast. And also, happy 4th of July. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. I hope everyone is gonna enjoy their day. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to the fireworks tonight. I hope you all are as well. I hope you have a lovely evening and a wonderful night. It should be good. So, today's topic is going to be about stress. We are going to be talking about what stress is, some examples of stress, the difference between good stress and bad stress, how to calm stress, and we are also going to be talking about a little bit about the next episode, episode 3. And that looks like about it from my list. Okay, let's get started. So, first of all, what is stress? Many of you think stress is just another word for being overwhelmed. It kind of is. You're half right. Now, if we Google what stress actually is, it's going to give you literally 4 definitions. The best definition is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. Now, it's very similar to overwhelmness and pressure and yada yada yada, but in reality, it's an emotional or mental strain. Something that prevents you from being, happy, or it could be preventing you from being actually healthy. Yeah, it could affect your health as well. Now, let's talk about the difference between good stress and bad stress. So, everyone thinks that stress is a bad thing. It's not. Sometimes it can be good stress. Yeah, there is also bad stress, which you want to strain away from, but there's also good stress. So, the bad stress that we know of is the usual, such as overthinking, overwhelmness, taking too many tasks, whether that's school, work, home tasks, etc. Bad stress could also be involving a death of a close family friend or someone in the family. Death has a big percentage of bad stress as well. Now, good stress could be something you're very nervous but excited about, such as getting a new job, you're getting married, you're having a kid of your own, or other things like there's going to be an upcoming test at school, but you know you're going to ace it because you've studied so hard, but you're still nervous about it because, it's a test, right? So there's that sort of thing. And I just wanted to clarify to you all that stress is not necessarily all bad. So that's why I wanted to tell you the difference between good and bad stress, because there is such thing as good stress. But anyway, moving on. So I have posted about stress a bit. There's 2 posts on the Instagram blog about stress. One of them is tips on how to not overthink, and then the other one was how to calm stress. So first, let's talk about how to calm stress. So in that post, it's going to be the same thing as what I'm saying now, but my way to calm stress is you take 5-minute breaks on whatever you're doing. So if you're doing homework, this is just an example. If you're doing homework or you're at work and it's a big project to take in, you take 5-minute breaks. So if you're doing a project or homework, I suggest working on that for 30 minutes to an hour, your choice. And then take a 5-minute break. And in that 5-minute break, you do whatever you need to do. You stand up, you stretch, you breathe, you listen to music, you watch a episode real quick, you go on Instagram, whatever it is. And then once the 5 minutes is up, you go back, you sit down, and you finish your homework, your project, your task at work, whatever it is you were doing before. Take another 30 minutes to an hour doing it again, and then you take another 5-minute break. So this helps your stress levels. It really does, because not only are you kind of steering away from working, but you are also re-energizing. So that 5-minute break helps you a lot. And one of the big things it helps you on is regaining strength on what you're doing. It helps refocus the mind. It helps you feel more relaxed. It helps you feel more prepared, and it helps the stress levels unanimously, like big time. So 5-minute breaks on your working time or whatever it is you're doing, perfect. Another thing you could do is you plan your tasks ahead of time. So this has nothing to do with work. I'm talking strictly on school, organizations, events, you're planning, things like that. Whatever you need to do, plan ahead. So if something's due in a week or two, or in a month, you're planning a wedding, things like that, then you need to plan your tasks ahead of time. When you plan your tasks ahead of time, it saves you the trouble from going back to it later. Because I know there's some procrastinators out there. Now, if you're a procrastinator, you should stop because you're stressing yourself out. So, by planning your tasks ahead of time, you will help yourself a lot because you already did them. So by the time you come back and you're like, oh, I have a lot of tasks. Well, no, you don't. You have less tasks than you did before because you already did the easy ones. Or something like that. Do the hard ones first. Do the easy ones first. Whichever you prefer. I would just prefer that this second method, if you choose to do the second method, do it, plan ahead. Plan ahead. It's like, it will really help your stress levels in that way as well. So now this is when you are, these like next few methods that I came up with, you have to use these methods like as you're stressing. So if you're like in major stress, like you're gonna have an outbreak or something, this is what you can do. One, if you're at home and you're just like stressed out, you are tired, you are exhausted, and you just can't stop thinking about how much stress you're in, you can't stop thinking about a certain thing that's bothering you, what you can do is, one, meditate. You can do yoga. You can read a good book that you love and you just are very intrigued by it. You can listen to music, just put on headphones and lay on the bed and just relax. You can go outside in your backyard or in the front yard, wherever it is, just to breathe the outside air. Now, these few methods right here is when you're at home, or these can even work if you're like out somewhere, like if you're at a restaurant and you're like stressing about something and you just need a break. Go outside, go to the bathroom, go somewhere where you can breathe, isolate yourself from wherever you are in that situation. Now, there is something I would like to talk about that. So if you're at home and your safe place is your bedroom, that's perfectly fine because that's your safe place, right? You need a safe place to go. You need a safe place to breathe and relax and rethink your thoughts. And I'm just talking about right now in this few 2 minutes, I'm talking about more than just stress. I'm talking about when you're having a mental breakdown or when you're overly thinking about something and you're going to go crazy. You're going to blow up or something. If your room is your safe place, then do that. Go to your safe place. But if it gets to the point where your safe place is no longer helping you calm down and you get that feeling that you're just not being helped anymore, find a new safe place. Whether that's in your car or outside. Breathe the outside air. That one is my go-to all the time if it's not my bedroom. You can go drive to the next block. Maybe go away from your house. Things like that. Find a new safe place if the original safe place had not been working before. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to talk about as well is the fact that stress causes you to forget. It really does. So stress causes a lot of things like overthinking and forgetting things. It causes overwhelmness. It really does. Bad stress in particular causes all those negative things. But when it comes to forgetfulness, stress is a big component to that, because when you're so stressed, you start to overthink, right? You start to feel overwhelmed. And then the next thing you know, you're so stressed focusing on one thing that you're not focused on all the other things you need to do. Sometimes you're stressed about all the things, all the tasks that you are compiling up together, all the tasks you need to do. You are so stressed that you have so many things to do, but still you're going to forget one or two of those tasks that you needed to do, and they could be either the hardest tasks or the most easiest tasks you missed and you just completely forgot. Now, out of all the methods that I have given to calm stress, you can use any of those to calm stress, and all that will either calm it or, help not stress as much, things like that. But I just wanted to point out there that stress not only causes overwhelmness and such, but it does cause you to forget. And I know people who are out there listening right now, workers, if you have a job, if you have a career, you will be stressed with your job. You could have a job or a career that's very important, that's very important to you. You might need that for money, or just it's a very important career, like a doctor or lawyer, or whoever out there is listening, right? You can have all this pressure in this job, especially teachers, doctors, lawyers, therapists, all of that. And the more you stress, the more you're going to forget. So, take what I've said today, take a breather, because I know it was a lot of information. Just take a breather and, replay my podcast if you need to. Write down the examples of calming mechanisms for stress if you need to. Take whatever you need from what I said today. And just a warning, now that we are coming to an end, a lot of what I'll be saying in these podcasts are going to be very similar or repetitive. But it's funny because everything that I'm going to be saying, even though it's repetitive or similar, it's all true. So you can reuse all the methods, all the examples, anything I've given you, you can reuse it for any type of situation. So for example, just now that we're on the topic, stress, anxiety, all of that, even anxious, like when you're feeling anxious, all of that you can prevent using the same methods. You can either prevent or help deal with that a little bit better, make the situation a little bit better. All the methods I'm giving you are going to be very similar, maybe repetitive, but you can reuse them. It matters on the person, and it matters what you feel is right for you, what you feel comfortable with, things like that. So, speaking of which, the next episode, I'm going to do a little small reveal here. Episode 3 of Find Peace of Mind will be about overthinking, We will have a guest star coming in as well, and we hope that you will both enjoy it. Well, I know we will. We'll both enjoy it, but I hope you guys will too. So, this is the end of the podcast. Well, not the podcast, the episode. Follow my podcast on Spotify and follow my blog on Instagram. My username is find.peaceofmind for both accounts. I hope to see you next episode. Have a lovely day and a lovely happy 4th of July.